Hi, everyone. Welcome to my very first Empower Hour podcast from our ranch, CA Ranch in Louisiana. I have my very first guest and my very first friend in Louisiana ever in my life, Miss Jennifer Palpallatoc.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here for the first one at the ranch. I feel like it is only fitting considering I was your first friend here.
First official friend here in Louisiana. And so I thought it'd be appropriate to have Jennifer be our first guest. And I'm excited. We're in our makeshift studio. So here we go. Okay, Jen, I always start my podcast asking my guests 3 adjectives to describe themselves.
Oh, wow. I'm so glad you didn't let me prep for this on the way here. Let's see. 3 adjectives to describe myself. Persistent. I'm extremely persistent. I do not give up. This is not a good one, but it is a good one.
It's fine.
Annoying.
Okay.
I'm annoying. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that sometimes their bad qualities are also their good qualities.
Yeah.
But since I'm annoying, I get things done.
That's true.
I get to the bottom of it. I get to the root of it. I get whatever I want that person to do. I get them to do it because I'm just so annoying. It works, you know? And let's see, the last one to describe myself. Oh, this is a tough one. Maybe, I don't know. Do you have any suggestions?
No, I
for
don't.
it?
This is all you. There's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong.
I know it's not wrong. There's so many things to describe
Just the first
me.
3, the first one that comes to your head.
Oh, positive.
100%.
Positive.
You're
I am
100%.
always positive.
You are always
I'm positively annoying and persistent.
Yeah, no, you are always positive. That's one thing. Like,
yes.
Every
always.
time I've seen you and all the times we've seen each other, no matter what, you're just like, oh, okay, it'll be fine. And I'm like,
Yeah,
it will be?
It'll be great.
I guess it will be. And it kind of like it's contagious, right? So, okay, for people who don't know Jen, and I'm pretty sure you do, she is a content creator and an influencer and now has her own products, which we're going to talk about very shortly, and beauty and style blog, or how do you?
Yes. So I started my blog in 2012 and I do still have my blog.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that most people are looking for my content on social media platforms, but I do still have that website and I do still maintain it.
Okay.
But back in the day when I first started it in 2012, we posted every day on the website, like a full blog post, like a full article with professional photos. So I'm kind of glad that it's shifted into social media.
Okay, so now she's on social media, but tell me where you got started, because there's people watching that, and I know you know these people. They want to get into social media. They're interested in how do I start? Where do I start? Where did you get your start?
Okay, I was in college. I was in my 5th year at this point, and by this time, I was now majoring in, I think, creative writing.
Okay.
So when I started school, I did journalism for 2 years. I wanted to be this is crazy, I wanted to be a lawyer or a news anchor.
Oh.
I know, so weird. And then I did that for 2 years. Then I tried theater performance because I also wanted to be an actress.
Okay.
And then I went and interned in Disney World for 4 months of my life because, again, I wanted to be an actress. I was like, this is going to be my big break here.
Were you a character?
Oh, no. So Blake was my boyfriend at the time, now husband, drove me and my best friend, Haley, who you've met, drove us 11 hours so that I could audition to be a face character. So I learned the whole song and the dance, and I perform it. And then they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, you're too short. You have to be at least 5'2" to be considered to be a face character. And they let me know I'm only 5 feet and 3/4 of an inch. So couldn't be that. Instead, I took out the trash at Pecos Bill in Magic Kingdom for 4 months of my life. And I don't know if you know this, but in Magic Kingdom, they don't have trash bags, only trash bins. So I would go around with a little cart like this. And I would have 2 empty trash bins on it, and I would swap it with the full trash bins. And then I would go to the back of Pecos Bill, and then I would empty it into this big, huge tunnel hole, because in Magic Kingdom, they have these tunnels that go all at the bottom, and that's where all the workers are, and that's where the trash is. So I would empty the trash in there, press the button, and then it would go zoop, 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 zoop. Please tell me you've seen The Grinch.
I've seen The Grinch.
Okay, so you know how the trash goes all the way
Yeah.
up to his mountain lair? Yeah. Similar to that, except in the tunnels of Magic Kingdom. And that's what I did for 4 months of my life. So I came back and I was like, clearly I'm not going to be an actress. I was better at taking out the trash.
Yeah.
And then from there I did creative writing because I started my blog. I skipped a part. I started my blog because I knew that I wanted a job in the fashion industry. I've always loved fashion. The reason why I never majored in fashion to begin with was because I felt like in Louisiana, if you're going to be in fashion, you're going to own a boutique or you're going to manage a boutique. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just not what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to be a magazine editor if I was going to be in fashion, right? And since that wasn't really available here in Louisiana, I was like, let me start this online portfolio to show what I can do. And so once I started it, a local news station asked me to start doing fashion segments. It was WBRZ because I was in Baton Rouge. And then a local magazine, which was at the time called Dig Magazine, asked me to come be their fashion editor. Oh. So yeah, I was like, let's change my major to creative writing so I could be a better writer. Turns out we were studying creative writers from the early 1900s. And it just, by this point, I was in my 5th year. I was like, I changed my major so many times because I also at some point also attempted fashion merchandise as a major. And none of it was really hitting for me. So with being in my 5th year, my mom by this point started making me pay for college myself. She paid for the first 4 years. And after that, she's like, you're on your own.
Yeah, figure it out.
And I walked into class one day and everybody had Scantrons on their desk.
Oh, I remember that.
And I was like, oh, let me see if I can find one in my backpack really fast. And so I start like scrounging around in my backpack. There was no Scantron. So I was like, you know what?
Oh my God.
I'm good. So I walked out and I was like, school will always be there, but I'm getting all these opportunities right now from my blog. Because I started my blog was when the fashion was when they asked me to be a fashion editor and asked me to start doing fashion segments. So I was like, I'm getting these opportunities. Let's see what happens from this. And there are plenty of different paths to success other than just college. 100%. And I'm not telling you not to go to college. I'm just saying.
But if she
there
was
are different paths. Yeah, there are different paths. And once I started my blog, I just felt like it was one opportunity after the next. And when I started it, social media, yes, was very big, but nothing like it is today.
Was Instagram around?
It just had just started.
Okay.
Because I started in 2012, and I want to say that I didn't even start my Instagram account until maybe 2013. So, or I think I maybe had an Instagram account, but wasn't posting any of my
It wasn't
fashion
thing.
content.
It wasn't
No, I was just posting random
page.
pictures. Yeah. And once Instagram really took off, and not even just for me, I just mean in the world, once Instagram really took off, was when I feel like influencers really were able to hit the ground running. We were able to reach more people because our websites could only reach so many, from an SEO standpoint. You're only going to get into so many people, I'm sorry, I can't speak. You're only going to be in front of so many eyes.
Yeah.
But with Instagram and now TikTok, I mean, you've got the world at your fingertips.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
And so you decide not to go to school. You start pursuing this whole blog, website, your whole fashion passion. And when did you decide to make your Instagram page an actual page that it is? And then what was your big hit where you saw like your page turn where you were like, oh my gosh, this is something?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure when I saw it take off, meaning when I had gotten to a certain amount of followers.
How many followers do you have right now?
I now have 256,000.
And that's organic growth?
Yes. I've never wanted to buy followers. I know some people have, and the reason why I don't recommend buying followers is because that only hurts you.
It totally does.
Then you have all of these bots and the engagement isn't there.
Yeah.
And then if brands are coming to you expecting, to see the return on investment because you have all these followers, they're not going to.
Right.
Because those aren't real people.
So then what was, when you started your page, Instagram's taking off generally, when did you see it, or do you have a moment where you're like,
I know, that's what I'm trying
wow,
to think
like,
of when it like
or was
really,
it a time frame?
That's what it was. That's why I don't remember a certain time, because I've been doing this for so long, I've just only grown as much as Instagram has. I feel like the people who actually started later grew faster because the platform had already grown so much.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So the more people started to join and started to engage on Instagram, the more I started to grow. So for me, it was definitely a long-term process as opposed to an overnight success, which you do see some of those overnight success stories, especially on TikTok. And that's the thing with TikTok and Instagram. Instagram, I like to think of as my community. And then TikTok is more of the rest of the world.
It's literally
you never know who's going to see it. And in fact, it doesn't even matter how many followers you have. You can still have your post go viral because it's just the way that TikTok works and how their algorithm works.
Right.
It can be in front of, it just needs to be in front of the eyes who want to see it on Instagram. I'm sorry, on TikTok.
And so as a content creator now, where do you get inspiration? Where do you see the trends going? And how do you apply that to your vision?
Yes. And when you say trends, do you mean social media trends or do you mean fashion trends?
Well, fashion trends are going to always be there, but I'm talking social media as a business, the way it's a business for you.
Yes.
You mentioned something when we first met. You said, I realize it's a wave and I want to ride it as much as I can.
Yes.
But this is a very big and long wave, and it's just going to form into something else. What are your strategies? How are you looking at it?
My strategy is to always adapt and evolve. You have to jump on the next thing as soon as it launches, or you'll get left behind. Now, I will say, I did not jump when TikTok came out. And that was because it was in the middle of COVID. I was having my first baby. And I was in a weird place. And I know that, or to me, I tell myself, you can't have everything. And I know you like to say you can have everything. I know. Gina likes to say you can't have everything.
Looks like we're jumping into an empowerment.
Yes. In order for me to protect myself.
Say it again.
I say,
I can do it.
You can't have everything. And okay, let's rework this. Okay.
Fine. But you're going to say it.
If having everything means that it takes away from all the other things that you love. Protect what you need to protect.
Got it.
So in this case, I could have everything, but maybe I wouldn't be as happy. So maybe let some things go to protect my overall mental health and happiness. And that was what I needed to do. So I couldn't jump on all the TikTok trends.
You chose not to.
I chose not to.
No, that's what I'm saying. The way you reworded it is intentional. You intentionally picked and chose, like, this is what works for me now. You didn't lose anything. Like, you had it all based off your definition of it.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Right. So I could make it happen,
of course,
but I chose not to.
That's it.
I chose not to. And that's what you can do.
100%.
You are the writer.
Always.
You write your story. And that was...
What if people complain and they're like, oh, well, Jen, you don't understand. I have been on social media forever and I don't have nearly your following and it's just not as easy for me, Jen.
Yes. I would say I busted my ass in those early years so that now when I do have kids, I still have to work really hard, but it's not in the same way. I just more so evolve and roll with the punches of what's being thrown my way. And then every now and then I do have to kind of sit back and reevaluate where I am and what people want to see from me because, I've been doing this for almost 13 years now. And so most of my audience has grown with me, right?
Yes.
But then I also have plenty of people that are new faces. And it's like they come to my page and they see what was going on during my life at that time. And now I'm not at that new mom stage anymore, right? I'm getting back into fashion and some people are like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I was always a fashion influencer.
So 2 points on this because you just mentioned about people are meeting you through Instagram.
Yes.
New people. And that's how we met. When
yes, it is.
We bought the property here in Covington. My sister was already following you and she says, hey, you should check out this influencer. She looks like she's from the same town where you're buying. And I said, I'll reach out because why the hell not, right? I don't care. I'll try everything. I sent you a DM and I'm like, there's no way she's going to respond. She has like over 200 something thousand followers. Literally responded, I think within a day or two.
Yeah.
And you're like, hi, because I said, hi, I'm new to the area. And I literally didn't know where, I knew nothing here. You gave me a list. You should try this. You should try this. Anyways, I came to town, invited you to coffee, and the rest is history.
I feel like you caught me at a really good time because it was during that season of life where we were just kind of getting back into normalcy.
Yeah.
And I was sitting at home a lot with a new baby. And so I had that time to dedicate to answering my DMs and meeting with people. So it worked out really well.
Well, it worked out wonderfully. And so back to the other piece that you're jumping into fashion. So now you're going full blown back to your fashion passion.
Yes, because that's what I started and I love fashion. And the other day, my former assistant still works with me. She works with me in a different capacity. But she was telling me, oh, you need to poll your followers and see the things, ask them what they want to see. And I'm like, yeah, well, what if I don't want to show them what they want to see?
Ignore.
Exactly. And again, that's me choosing what I want to do.
But it's market research. You get a pulse on the followers
to see
what's their interest.
So I will ask them. And maybe I'll do a little bit of what they want. But ultimately, I want to do what I want.
100%
and what makes me
always.
happy. And that always shows.
Yeah.
When you really love something, people can see that.
Yes.
And that also builds that trust too. So,
I love that.
I don't want to just, I was talking with my mom about this the other day.
Your mom is a whole other story.
Yeah, she's a
I
whole
need to
other
have her
story.
on the podcast next.
You
please.
do. Yes. So I don't know. You did see this video of her and her gym friend doing that like crazy weight.
I WTF'd you. I was like,
yeah, it was crazy. So she wanted me to post that on my feed. And I was like, Mom, it has nothing to do with me. I'm like, that's you and a friend. I was like, it would be different if I was in the video with you. I was like, the videos that I post about you is like our mother-daughter relationship. Don't get me wrong. People, I'm sure, are way more interested in you than our mother-daughter relationship. But I'm not posting these things just to get likes and to go viral. I'm posting it because it's a fun part of my life that people like to see.
Yeah.
And I showed it a few times and I got such good feedback from it. I continue to share it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to post something just because it's going to bring me more eyes because I don't necessarily want all those eyes. I want my community who wants to see what I have to share every day, as opposed to people who just started following because I have random funny videos with my mom.
Right.
And those people are welcome to stay. But when it comes to an engaged audience, you don't want everything you post to go viral because you're not for everyone.
I know that.
Right?
I know that.
You have a community and you want to build that community and continue to maintain that trust. And that isn't by posting things that you're just posting for likes.
Right. And you're staying authentic to your brand.
Yes.
Which is what's going to sustain you.
Right.
Okay. Speaking of brands, speaking of products, what is this little baby here about?
I'm so excited about this. I started working with Gigi New York in 2014, so very early on in my blogging career. And they used to gift me bags, and I would always share them because I love these are amazing quality bags.
I can
they
feel
are
this.
Real leather.
It's
that
beautiful.
he sources out of Italy, and then they make it in New York.
Ah.
So their factory is in New York. I've been to it. And this is my 4th handbag design with them. So I did a bucket bag in 2015, might have been 2014.
Love.
And it was their best-selling bag for 3 seasons in a row. So it did really, and they carried it for a while. And then we launched our 2nd bag, which was the Jenny saddle bag, another bestseller.
Oh my
And then our 3rd bag that we did was another petite bucket bag like this. It was called the Genevieve. I called it the Genevieve because I launched it in Paris. I was on a trip to Paris, and so we launched the bag there. And I love the bucket bag style so much, and it is very much having a moment right now.
It is.
In fact, did you see on Taylor Swift and Selena
tagged you. I
Gomez?
saw.
Yes.
Who had it, Taylor or
Taylor
Selena?
Swift and Selena. They
both
had it. They were both different
I
versions.
had to look at it. I was like,
Taylor Swift had the Stella McCartney, and then Selena had the Saint Laurent one.
Or it could have been yours.
It could have been mine. It could have been mine.
Because I thought it was, and I sent you that picture, and I'm like,
yeah.
famous.
Yes.
Famous.
So this one has 3 interchangeable straps. I have one inside. So you can take all of them off. They're all removable, and you can choose the ones that you want to use. So yes, I also like to carry. This is crossbody. And then this one is more of your shoulder and wrist.
Oh my
strap.
goodness.
And then you can even take off the gold one in case you already have a lot of gold going on.
I'll be back. Just
I
going out for a date.
love it so much. And this matte embossed croc leather is so
It's
soft
so
and
chic.
beautiful. Don't get me wrong, I love a shiny croc too, but something about the matte looks
It's so good.
so chic and classic.
Yeah, and durable.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to provide in the caption where you can buy this, where you can obviously follow Jen.
And I have a code for 20% off.
Code?
It's code HOAT20, and that's HAUTE, HOAT20.
Hote. That's how you say it.
So you can take 20% off this bag. And then any other GG New York bag that you like, I have another code, HOAT15 for 15% off, because I did just post about one of their new bags today. Yeah. So this is it.
Fabulous,
We
friend.
love her.
Well, I love her. I love you. Thank you for doing this and being my first Louisiana podcast guest.
Yes, thank you for having
the
me.
ranch. I love you. Thank you for your just hospitality and friendship and just being the best, funniest, positive girl. And we will be at Mariah Carey, the Hollywood Bowl.
We will.
In
I've
about 2
already
weeks.
been prepping myself for this concert. I'm so excited.
So stay tuned for that footage. And I would love to have you back.
Yes, I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll be back in LA too. So stay tuned.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me.